Okay, hey everyone. Welcome to the field between. My name is Ahmed.
And I'm Yasmin.
And we're going to phone it in today with some...
You can't say that up top.
I can and I will. We're going to just... Because we're in the middle of setting up the house, we figured we'd just resort to Reddit to kind of... Which, I don't know which one you're on, but I'm on relationship advice.
I'm on relationships controversial.
Oh. Wait. You're sorting by controversial or just relationships? The name of the subreddit is controversial?
I think that's the name of the subreddit. Let me look. I don't really fully understand how Reddit works, to be honest.
Okay.
It's in relationships.
And you're sorting by controversial?
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Before that, what's going on?
Let's see. We helped out with a event, like a poetry art event for Palestine on Saturday. That was a fundraiser, which went fairly well, so that felt nice. Ahmed read his own poetry for the first time in front of an audience, and that was really cool to see.
First time and last time.
Hopefully not the last time. It was a lovely poem.
First time and last time.
Yeah, we had a friend from North Carolina who came to perform, and then showed them around today, which was really fun. Did some like good old touristy stuff. Saw a really cool exhibit at the Mattress Factory. A busy but good weekend overall.
Yeah.
We put up our ladder so we can now access like our little lofted space, which is really awesome.
Shit.
Ahmed's been really harsh on himself. Like, yeah, we've got to paint over it, but it is like functional now.
Put a lot of holes in the wall.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what,
It's annoying.
That is what primer is for. Yeah, we're headed to Oregon next weekend for a friend's wedding, so that's going to be really fun. What else is going on?
In our lives or in the news?
I was going to start with our lives, but you can switch to the news if you want.
In our lives? That's it.
That's it. That's the whole story.
And we just got to finish setting up this place.
We're getting there. We're chipping away at it.
Yeah.
I would say we're like 90% there. What do you think? Considering how much we've done.
No, I don't think we're 90% there.
Really? What do you think?
I think we're like 70.
Higher than that.
There.
Think about how much we've done.
Yeah, I know, but it's about how much we have left.
I think we're 80% there.
I don't think so.
Nah.
That's it. I saw that Iman Khalif won, or Khalif, what's her last name?
I think that's it.
Khalif?
Yeah, I think so.
Won a gold medal. Did you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm so happy for her. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else happened in news? Oh, did you see this Trump clip? I thought it was pretty funny.
Kamala Harris, it's interesting. Nobody really knows her last name. If you ask people, do you know what her last name is? Nobody has any idea what it is. Harris. It's like Harris. I don't know. How the hell did this happen?
What? I don't...
You know how no one knows what Kamala Harris's last name is?
He's got he's getting a little more unhinged. I think he's also just older, and like the comments are getting confusing. They're less like sharp and jabby than they used to be.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that was to be fair, that was clipped out of context, but even in context, I'm not really sure. He's like,
yeah, I have no idea.
I feel like if it was in context, maybe he's trying to allude to the fact that she's Indian and he feels like Harris is not like a real family last name or something like that.
But then he was also saying that she was claiming to be black, but she wasn't. So I don't really know what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, did you know who Kevin Sorbo is?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever watch Hercules?
The animated show?
No, there's the Disney movie Hercules, which is animated.
Yeah.
Which I actually maybe think they did spin off into a show.
Okay.
But no, there was a live action show like back in the early 2000s or like 90s. And Kevin Sorbo played Hercules.
Okay.
And since then, he's just been like in really conservative Christian movies.
Okay.
Like God's Not Dead. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
I thought maybe you would have with your evangelical circles. Anyway, he had a great tweet the other day that said, if Kamala Harris is really black, then let her say the N-word.
Oh, God.
And let the people decide.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Good idea?
No opinion, but I don't think this man should have an opinion.
So you don't think that people should do that?
I just feel like it's a weird thing for people to like race test other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're against that happening. But I thought that was like a crazy thing to tweet, as if people would just be like, we'll just let her say it once, and then there will be kind of a democratic vote to see if she's black or not, based on how she said it, I suppose.
I don't understand how people don't understand the concept of being biracial. So much of this country is mixed. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like all these it's a lot of white people too who are just constantly
It's
like,
mostly white people. Yeah.
Well, no, like in the past, like white people have always been like, I'm like a 0.1% Cherokee,
Right.
you know? And now they're just like, well, is she black or Indian? What is going on here? And
Yeah.
especially like when JD Vance has like mixed children,
Yeah, I know, it's really strange.
they're just like, they have no idea how it works. And also a lot of these Republicans, like, what's his name? Mitch McConnell has an Asian wife.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Cindy McCain is not an Asian.
She's not.
But yeah.
But actually, I think what you're maybe remembering is, didn't they adopt a kid?
Well, someone adopted a kid.
Yeah.
Let
me look.
That might have been, that's not Mitch McConnell. I don't know, which I don't keep up that closely.
Yeah, John McCain's adopted daughter is from Bangladesh.
John McCain's adopted. So Meghan McCain has like a Bangladeshi sister.
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So do you wanna just like trade back and forth questions? Do you want to go first or should I go first?
Either way. I've got one here. Oh wait, I just lost it. Is yours there?
Yeah. Okay. All right. While you find that, I'll go to mine. So I'm on relationship advice,
Okay.
and there are a couple good ones at the top, but after we go through those, I'll just I'm gonna sort by like top new. That's how you get the fresh stuff. Okay. How should I confront a woman, 29 female, sending my husband, 40 male, nudes? I found nudes of my husband's coworker in his deleted screenshots, i.e. Snapchat screenshots of her bending over with a dildo in her and nudes in the shower. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
He says that she's been trying to sleep with him for years. I asked, why did he screenshot them? That's a great question. With the response of, oh, I sent it to my friends to have a laugh. You know how guys are.
Oh my gosh.
He said they were unsolicited, but I can't find any history of texts or messages anywhere, which makes me wonder if he's lying or even
Or
hiding
deleting them,
something.
probably. Yeah.
To confirm his story, I wanted to look at the receipts by confronting her on social media. If you were this woman, would you share the receipts or think I'm crazy? Sorry, there's more that got cut off. Would you share receipts or think I'm crazy? I don't even know how to start the message. I'm so emotional right now that I'm even tempted to send her the photos that I have of her. I just need advice. Okay. All right. Well, we got the gist of it. What do you think? This guy's telling the truth, right?
The automatic, obvious reaction, I think, is forget about the other woman. I mean, your partner is the problem. If you didn't know that is this her husband or her boyfriend?
Husband.
If you didn't know that your husband had photos of other women naked and that were screenshotted nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was gonna share them with his boys to have a laugh.
No, that's bizarre. I think that's honestly grounds for like immediate termination of a relationship.
How did she see them in his? Okay, hold on. She found the screenshots in his deleted screenshots. So what do you think? What conversation do you think precipitated her wanting or seeing his deleted screenshots?
I don't know. Maybe just going through his phone and going through old photos.
No.
I mean, it sounds like maybe she's already suspicious. I feel like
If
otherwise,
I were the
why
husband, I would dig my heels in and be like, "You invaded my privacy because clearly you don't trust
That's
me."
such a toxic thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's like immediate grounds for being like, "Yo, this is over."
So if a coworker sends either of us nudes,
I think you're supposed to immediately tell your spouse.
you gotta tell the spouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's just like so much more uncomfortable to find out in any other way besides your partner telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay to screenshot them to be like, I was gonna show them to you. That's why I screenshotted them.
I mean, I would say, yeah, screenshot it and show me immediately because snaps go away, obviously. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have an issue with you screenshotting it, but I would be like, yeah, show me that. Yeah.
See, this is the great thing about not going to an office is that you don't even have to worry about this for me. I work from home.
You still talk to your coworkers
Yeah, but I feel like you kind of have to be in an office setting
to get the snapshot.
to get to the
kinda
level of like your coworker Snapchatting you nudes
I guess.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't. If you gotta do a lot of things to get to that level, but yeah, an in-person relationship would probably help.
I think for sure the husband is the issue here, and you probably.
I think it's really sad that people have this like automatic impulse to be like the other person, and it's
if
like
he doesn't respect the person, if he doesn't respect her enough to at least be like, like to just go with, I was going to show them to my friends and laugh at them is an insane lie.
Yeah. And even if that's true, that's also weird.
That's definitely not true. That's just I screenshotted them to masturbate to them, or I solicited them, and
I mean maybe he also shows them to his friends. I don't know. He's like a weird guy.
I mean, he probably shows them to his friends, but he didn't just screenshot them to have a nice laugh.
And also the fact that there's no like record of conversation, I think he's probably deleting to like, cover his tracks.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got?
Today, I'm male 24, found out that the person I've been dating is my third cousin, female 24. How do I handle this? Been seeing this girl for a few weeks now. We've had sex and all. We're not official yet, but we're heading there, very compatible. Anyway, today we found out by accident that we are third cousins. Basically, my grandfather and her grandfather were first cousins. So I'm her third cousin. She's my third cousin. I want to mention that I had no idea about her existence before we met. I'd never heard of her or seen her. I don't know how to handle this. I feel very weirded out and embarrassed. I did a lot of research, and apparently third cousins share less than 1% of DNA, and there's absolutely no risk with future kids. But morally, how is it? I feel embarrassed to even talk about it with friends. It's such a taboo.
What even is a third cousin?
That's kind of what I think. And actually, most of the responses, I was surprised, were kind of like, maybe don't bring it up, but like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not like an issue genetically. You didn't know. And also, like, before we had this kind of level of DNA testing, probably a lot of people wouldn't keep track of, especially if you're from like a massive family where like each generation had like 5 to 6 siblings,
Yeah. But legit, what is a third cousin? Okay, so
the
first cousin,
grandparents were first cousins.
Grandparents were first cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like.
It is weird.
Would you see a third cousin at a family reunion?
Depends on the family.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make it.
But they didn't
weird,
know about one another's existence, so this is very much like, I think it would be different if you had met within a family context.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was someone who you would like, if you're the type of family that like actually does keep track of this shit, and you have like seen each other at a family reunion or might, then I would be like, it's a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, there must be some communities and groups of people that are just like more tight-knit and insular, and this must happen fairly often.
Yeah.
If it happens to that extent, then I know some communities actually keep pretty close track to make sure that there's not like too much inbreeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The cousins thing, like, it's good to get new blood. I don't think you want to keep it too close, but I also honestly don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's something that's pretty like culturally dependent and specific. And certainly by the time you get to third cousin, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your threshold?
I mean, being raised in the U.S. and just like the way I was socialized and stuff, I would never. I mean, also like we were very much raised with our cousins like as family. You know what I mean? It would have been like very incest and weird to think about them as anything else.
Right.
But I mean, like, yeah.
What if you found out I was your third cousin?
I'd be really confused about how that happened.
Yeah.
Since our ancestors share very little geography that I'm aware of, but
Well, remember that Viking Muslim boat though?
yeah, that's true. That was probably the crossover.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we ever were related, how would that be? I honestly can't think of a time where that would have happened.
Well, Persian, Turkish, Ottoman into Egypt ruled for a little while. I don't know.
But like the Ottomans, right? The Ottomans ruled in Egypt, but at that time, like the Mughals were in South Asia. Like, yeah, there's not even like a. There's a low chance, is what I'm saying. But yeah,
you probably had like emissaries, right? And you're,
it would have. I don't think it's highly likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cousin marriages in Pakistan. It's pretty common, at least in my family, and so it doesn't feel that taboo to me. My grandparents related.
Or how far did Alexander the Great go? He got to Mongolia?
Yeah,
he got to Mongolia.
He got to Afghanistan too.
He got to Afghanistan.
Yeah, he didn't
Which
conquer,
means he would
but
have gotten.
probably traipsed through. Yeah.
So maybe that way.
Yeah, maybe. That's going pretty far back though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think first cousin's a little close.
You're my favorite cousin, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, even though we're not related again at all.
On some level, everyone is.
I mean, I have the same name as your sister, so there's something there.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
But we are not related. Yeah, what's your thoughts on cousin marriages?
Thing? Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I feel like if you don't know each other in a family context, and it's like,
what if you like met a first cousin and there was like some vibes, but you didn't grow up together?
I mean, personally, not for me.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I know people do it, so I'm not like, it's not something I'm like morally appalled by.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I take like the cultural relativistic approach.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but not for you.
I wouldn't do it, but yeah.
Same. That's basically where I'm
I don't
at.
think it's like a morally inferior thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you do it too much, it does get not great, just on a genetic level. Like if you have multiple generations that keep doing first cousins.
That's how you build the dynasty, though.
I mean,
that's how you build political power. Habsburgs.
All jokes aside, like anthropologically, it is often to keep like land and money within families, within larger like family clan networks.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah. Which is also a little weird if you think about it. But yeah.
Doing it for the family business.
I guess so.
Okay, let me find another one here. All right. Wow, this is too long.
Give us the like TLDR.
Oh, there's an update. That's why it's so long. So I'm 30 female, 30-year-old female. My husband, who is 33-year-old male, accused me of murder out of the blue. How do I salvage this?
What? Are you on like the most extreme like subreddit of this
No,
Reddit?
I'm on relationship advice.
Okay, continue.
Where's the original? Okay. I can't find the original post. This was just an update, so let's ignore that one.
Okay. I've got one if you're waiting.
I'm not going to accuse you of murder, though.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll just read the title because it kind of has all the information. After my mother met my girlfriend, 20 female, she said to me that my girlfriend was plain ugly and I'm so lost.
Wait, the girlfriend said he was ugly?
No. The mother thought that the girlfriend was ugly.
The mother thought that the boyfriend's girlfriend is ugly.
Yes.
Okay.
That her son's girlfriend was ugly.
She said this to her face?
No, just to the son after. Because like they met for the first time and then the girlfriend left and the son was like, what'd you think? And the mom was like, oh, she's ugly.
I see.
Yeah. My thought is that's incredibly mean, obviously. But I think it's also just creepy and weird. Like, I think it's weird to like have an opinion about the sexual attraction of your kid. It's kind of like, I just feel like controlling behavior. Like, why would your son care about like your opinion of like the girl's attractiveness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's weird that parents would like state how they feel.
I feel like if anything,
I think it's appropriate for parents to say, hey, we don't think this is a good match.
Totally. Like if you feel like they're not well suited personality wise, or if you see some very serious red flags that you're worried about for like your kid's future, I think that's fair. Mm-hmm. But even then you kind of have to be careful, especially around the age of 20. Like it's not really your choice.
But okay, so I guess what would be the difference between someone who is like actually like ugly versus like presenting ugly? You know what I'm saying? Like someone who just, I don't know, like wears an eye patch just for fun, obviously not as a, but like, and like is
talking about
and like doesn't shower, like, you know what I'm saying, like,
like
it's,
has bad hygiene. I mean, this seemed like it was totally just an aesthetic beauty thing.
yeah.
Um,
But what if they just like dress weird? You know what I'm saying?
but again, like who cares? You know what I mean?
That kind of gets into, no, I think there's a difference between like them being actually ugly, like they can't control how their face looks versus how they present themselves.
But do you think that's any business of the parent?
I would say the second one is kind of, it's
Why?
okay to weigh
Who
in
cares?
Because I just think it's, you know.
Aesthetics are so like subjective though, so I feel like it's like
They are. But what if, so what if we had a kid and then their like partner rolled up and they were just like covered in slime, you know?
okay. I mean, wearing an eye patch for fun versus covered in slime are very different things.
Yeah.
If they had like such terrible hygiene that I
Yeah.
was worried that like something was wrong.
Yes.
Then like, yeah, I'd be like, yo, is this person okay? Do they
Not
have
even
like
worried
a
something
stable?
was wrong, because then that would be like, no. But like, just to the point of being noticeable.
Knowing
but,
me, you're the one who's saying questionable things.
No. To the point of being noticeable, but it's not like, oh, do they have a stable home or whatever?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I think
feel
that's
like
okay.
I've been grateful.
like,
Like
yo,
my
your
parents have pretty
partner's
much only
stinky.
given me commentary on people after we've broken up, and I feel like that's the way to do it, to kind of like give reassurance of like, hey, you know, for example, college boyfriend who was a lovely man, no way he's listening to this, but just like wasn't the right person for me. I remember my mom saying something like, if it had been him, we would have supported you. He was so nice, but like kind of felt like it wasn't quite right. So like glad, like basically just kind of like giving me the reassurance of like, I think you made the right decision. I think that's the kind of appropriate feedback. I'm really glad they didn't say anything before that. I think I would have found it super off-putting. I think it's good to give positive remarks, obviously, like, oh, he's handsome, she's handsome, they're handsome, you know, whatever. I think you can pretty much only say positive stuff. I think the only thing you can really do is if they are
What if you just
hurting
don't
your
have
kid in
any-
any way, you know?
What if you're not going to say negative stuff, but you just have nothing positive to say?
I
If you're
know
just
people who
like,
have been in that
"Oh."
situation and
Yeah.
they just kind of don't say much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then there's always, of course, the backfire. Like, honestly, if you
Oh, he's so good at biambulating.
if you say anything, I think it's more likely to make your kid dig their heels in, you know?
That's true. Yeah, depending on their age, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. All right, this is a sad one. Boyfriend cheated. I'm financially stuck with him and slowly falling out of love more and more.
Tough.
We've been together for 10 years, strictly monogamous, or so I thought. And this is like 32 and 31 are their ages. We recently moved back to the UK, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, she found out that she had cheated by seeing like a dating app on his phone and confronting him about it. But she feels like she can't leave, which sucks. I don't really know what to say to that, honestly, besides that sucks. And it's a good reminder to try the best that you can to not get yourself in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you must have done something wrong if he was cheating on you. You know, that's one way to look at it.
That's definitely not true. I think also people forget that there are other forms of like of like networks outside of romantic relationships. Like if you can live with friends and have roommates, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
Try and think about networks that you do have or could develop.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. Wait, what did it say? What if there was a big age gap in that relationship?
No, actually, he's 32 and she's 31. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess. Is there any detail about like how much money she makes or he makes?
It's too long, but I think yes, basically.
He makes more.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. They're both men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but same dynamic.
Does one make more?
Yeah, the one who cheated.
Mm.
Yeah.
Depends on how much more. How much more would your partner have to make for it to be okay to cheat?
There's no number.
There's no number? Like even
Yeah.
a billionaire.
First of all, I would just never date a billionaire, but also
Yeah.
yeah, for a lot of reasons. But yeah,
But if your friend came to you, okay, your friend came to you and was like, you know, is a grad student or unemployed, right?
yeah.
And was like, my partner cheated on me. and then their partner makes $50,000, you'd be like, leave, right? $100,000, you'd be like, oh yeah, you should leave. But if they make $1 million a year,
nothing is worth that. If you don't have freedom, literally nothing is worth that, to be in something that feels like it's suffocating you slowly. I mean, this is the thing. I have had friends who have been in situations where they couldn't leave as quickly as they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's fair to be like, you know what? Plan your exit strategy a little bit if that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
But like plan it actively, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's smart. And like, yeah, it's a weird way to think about it. I guess in an early relationship, you should never really become too dependent on
absolutely not. I agree.
Person.
Especially, yeah, I think that's healthiest.
If you're not married and you don't have the legal recourse to take half of that shit,
that's also a lot of pressure on the person too, I think. I mean, this guy obviously sucks because he cheated, but like
right.
That's a lot of pressure on both parties for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one. I, 34 male, found videos and pictures of my wife, 34 female, with another couple. How do I tell her I'm no longer comfortable being around the other couple? The TLDR of this is, I found videos and photos of my wife engaging in multiple sex acts with a couple we are currently friends with. Let's see.
Where did they find the videos?
I can read the longer bit of the post. I'm going to try to keep this short as possible. My wife and I have been married now for just shy of 12 years. We met in college between junior and senior years. During this time, I also met her close friends, Brian and Chloe. They were high school sweethearts who are currently married and friends still with my wife and myself. I've been off work now for a week due to my accruing too many leave days. I had to burn some or I would lose them. School is about to start back up, and I figured I would clean the house, blah, 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 generally straighten up everything while the kids are still in summer camp and while my wife is at work. While moving things into the attic Tuesday, I stumbled across an old filing cabinet, like the small one you can put on a desk. Inside, I found a flash drive with a red heart colored on it. Now, I'll admit my curiosity got the best of me, so I popped it downstairs and put it in the computer once. So it sounds like he was cleaning up and then found this like flash drive in her filing cabinet. Looking in that folder, I found pictures and videos of my wife, Brian, and Chloe engaging in various sex acts. Looking into it further, it was apparent that it was the summer we met. Oof.
But were they dating yet?
Summer we met. I don't know if they... Well, he says they started... they met between junior and senior year. So he doesn't say we started dating. I don't know. So maybe in his mind they were dating and her mind they weren't. So it sounds like a bit of a miscommunication. When my wife got home that evening, I couldn't hold it and just asked her about the summer of love. She immediately got defensive and saying that I broke her trust by going through her things.
Classic.
We got into a huge fight where I found out she had been their third for around 5 months or so, and it ended at the end of the summer, and our relationship looked like it was going strong. So there was some overlap. She says it was college. Me and her, weren't serious yet, and that I was making her feel bad for things that happened in the past. Told her I wasn't comfortable being friends with Brian and Chloe anymore. This only led to more fighting. So honestly, right now, I'm just kind of lost. I'm not comfortable seeing Brian and Chloe after seeing what I saw, but it's driving a wedge between my wife and I. I'm not sure I should make it an ultimatum, like choose me or them. I have so many feelings.
This is like, I feel like I have multiple thoughts about this. On the one hand, I do think like, hey, if there's overlap, that's pretty normal, especially during college. Like, it's not necessarily that I was cheating. On the other hand, if you hang out with these people regularly, I think that's pretty weird to omit that information and that context from your spouse for 12 years.
Let's get to the overlap, because I do think that like, it depends on how it was talked about, but like, I do feel like it is fair for him to feel somewhat annoyed, especially if it feels like she never told him about it, that like there was overlap. Like I do think that.
Well, yeah, and they're also really good friends with them, and it's not even the overlap though. They didn't even know. He didn't even know that she had sex with them.
Right, but I think the overlap is also like another issue. Yeah, like especially if it wasn't communicated before. Like it's Yeah, if he sees like, oh, and not only like, oh, this was like during the first couple of weeks, but it seems like it went like 5 months of overlap while he felt like they were actually had like a pretty strong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do feel like it's fair to feel some type of way about that. Whether or not they communicated exclusivity, I don't know. But you're saying aside from that, it's weird that they hang out constantly and she never mentioned
I think that's the main
his
thing that
history.
I think is a red flag. Yeah, I think it's strange, like, to not share that you have sexual history with someone that's like currently in your friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's also weird because it's uncomfortable knowing that like all three of them have this dynamic and that he wasn't privy to that.
Yeah.
That would make me super uncomfortable.
Now there's the third issue of
Keeping the photos.
why does she have the
That's
videos and
definitely the
photos
third
in a
issue.
filing cabinet?
That's also kind of weird. Yeah.
So she clearly has an organizational system. These people have been together for 12 years.
Yeah.
My guess is they've probably like moved together. And so she's had to contend with this, like,
And like
in a
kept
move
this thing.
and decided
Yeah.
to keep it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely weird.
Yeah.
That's also a rookie move. She should have thrown it out.
Should have thrown it out, but yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like the when you address her, the defensiveness of like being like, you broke my trust or whatever, and you went through my shit is just like such a cop out. What do you think? I mean, do you think he kind of was wrong to look at the flash drive?
No, I don't. I don't think that there should be.
If I find a random flash drive of yours, is it okay to look at
You
it?
just did recently, actually.
I did?
Yeah, but it was like a
Oh, it was an
lecture or
SD
something.
No, it was an SD card.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh my god.
But I didn't even know
Oh my goodness,
what
this
was on.
laptop just fell on the ground.
I didn't even know what was on it. But I don't know. It's like,
Well, I needed it for our Egypt trip.
did you? Oh, I didn't realize that.
The SD card, yeah.
Did we use it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the fresh SD card that didn't have any other stuff on it,
Nice.
which was good because that one cop went through the camera.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should deliberately snoop through your partner's stuff. I think the truth is that if you're doing that, something is already probably off, that you feel the need to do that, especially if you've been together for a while. Like, ideally,
Have you ever snooped through a partner's stuff?
I went through your camera, but honestly, like, I felt guilty about it because I felt like insecure at the time, but I don't know if it's that big of a deal to go through someone's camera. Honestly, I don't think it is. Now that we're married, would you think it's a big deal if I went through your camera?
Now that we're married,
Yeah,
no, of
but
course
we were
not.
in a really serious relationship at the time. We were talking about marriage and stuff. I don't think it's that weird.
How early was that into our?
It was like 6 months in.
Was it?
Yeah, I think
In
what
6
made it
months?
weird is that I knew I was looking for stuff to make me insecure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as like much of a violation as like going through someone's phone or like their text messages. Like, ideally, nothing should be on your camera that is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah, weird that she had a filing system for this stuff and did not get rid of it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, my main thing that I think is a red flag is I think it's just weird to not tell your partner that you have this like history with someone.
Do you think he's right to not want to hang out with them?
Yeah, but it's just awkward because it's been so long. Like, the whole thing is weird. That would make me question a lot of stuff if it's like it's been 12 years and you didn't tell me that you slept with our friends. Like, that would just make me feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
it would make you uncomfortable to the point of like ending the marriage?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
I
really
guess it
can't
depends
say.
on-
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would be a huge kind of.
I think you'd have to explore like
Breach of
why she didn't feel comfortable sharing that or like what. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Gonna make it his fault.
No, but
so let's talk about what you did to make it make me feel like I couldn't share this information with you.
I don't know. I just like, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's weird. I've never been in a situation, thankfully, where I wasn't aware of someone's past partners. It would weird me out if I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd also, I'm sure now you're looking back at all the different interactions that you've had
Oh,
with those friends and
absolutely.
being like, oh.
Yeah, no, totally. If there was like a night that people got a little tipsy or something, it would be easy to look at that and feel like weird knowing that there was that shared context.
Yeah.
It's a lack of information that would bother me most.
Honestly, it's not something, I feel like I would not be able to get over that shit.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, and it makes it worse somehow that it's a couple because it's like a whole social context even that you were not privy to.
But if you have, I guess these people have kids. That's tough.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm glad that
Your only recourse is to sleep with Brian and Chloe. You have to also bang them and record it.
To see how it measures up 12 years later.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I mean, yeah, I guess I would even out the scales a little bit. I mean, it's also hard because it was from such a different, like, I mean, she was basically a different person than they both were. They all were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not Brian and Chloe's fault, though. I feel pretty strongly about that. Like, it's not on them to alert, like, we fucked your wife. Like, your wife should just tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I was them, I would assume that, like, since she was now in a monogamous marriage, like, I wouldn't presume to, like, make it weird by talking about that experience. I'd be like, she's probably got that covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're good friends with them on some level, like, you also just have to know that she hasn't done that. And that should also make it weird for you. Be like, you're putting us in a weird situation. Like, if I were Brian and Chloe, I'd be like, does your husband know? But I guess,
yeah,
I don't know.
No, that's true. I would definitely, like, want to ask, I think.
Like, they kind of fucked up a little. It's definitely not their fault, but they're also not blameless. I'd be annoyed at them too.
Really? I wouldn't be. I mean, actually, I would be, but, like, my higher self wouldn't want to be. Again, I'd want to center, like, what my spouse did wrong, even though it's so easy, obviously, to be like, hey, the other person.
Yeah.
Because, like, also, if they had delivered that information, that would have been so awkward. It might have felt like a weird flex. Like, oh, you fucked my wife? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what, you got another one?
I have, my girlfriend didn't invite my friends to my birthday party. And it's a long description, but basically, girlfriend's 22. The guy is 23. She invited most of his friends to a surprise party, but not two of his friends who are girls. And then there's, like, all this context, but essentially, before they started dating, she had felt bullied by these girls and didn't invite them. And he was like, yeah, I guess, but, like, felt a little weird because, like, I thought that they would be there. And, like, then I posted photos. I didn't know they were invited. I thought they weren't able to come. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I agree with most of the people in the comments who are just kind of like, you can hang out those friends separately if she doesn't feel comfortable with them. Like, I don't know why, if she's, like, throwing the party, you would expect her to invite them.
It's his birthday?
Yeah.
But shouldn't his friends be at his birthday?
People are also saying, which I agree with, why are you friends with people who bully your girlfriend?
That's true. Do they currently bully her? Or
No, they did in the
they
past.
bully her in the past?
Yeah.
Have they, I guess my question is, like, did they reconcile?
I don't know if there's
Was
that
there
context.
any sort of-
But they're not, like, ongoingly being rude to her, it seems like.
Yeah. How does it say how long ago they bullied her? Was this, like, in middle school and now they're all, like, 30 years old?
I don't know. Some of the comments are saying that, basically. It's up to you to communicate with your girlfriend and the girls. I get it if you don't want to explain all the details here, but the situation sucks for all of you. If these girls were shady to her and made her feel some sort of way, she shouldn't feel obligated to invite them to the event she's planning. But if she's being more jealous or insecure, then she should grow up. But we have to have, like, more context.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lack of context here that makes it a little bit hard to weigh in.
But then other people are saying, in the clarification post, he says that these two girls were part of a group. Oh, so a whole group, not just the two of them, that used to mistreat OP's girlfriend really badly. So OP should not expect his girlfriend to invite people affiliated with people that mistreated her very badly.
Wait, this is like a third person bringing in this context? How do they know?
No, the original poster like posted follow-up information.
Part of a group, but still doesn't say when, like, what's the timeline? That's really important.
Yeah.
Part of a group tells me that it's like high school.
I guess. I still think it's kind of like not everyone has to be invited to everything, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, if she knew that the girlfriend, like, hosted it, it's not the end of the world. And it's also like, why do you have to have someone that, like, is rude to your partner there if she's not comfortable hanging out with them? I don't know. Like,
But
if
she's
you're able,
not currently rude. That's the thing, is like, I don't know.
but then even then, I don't think it matters. Like, I think it'd be one thing if it was like
someone who is, if it's like one of his really good friends now, and this is a totally different person than when this person was, like, bullying her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's better to show loyalty to your partner and also to show that you prioritize your partner's comfort over other people. Because it'd be one thing if, like he's not saying, like, oh, I can't hang out with these people or I'm not friends with them. It's just, like, this one event that she hosted.
There is a chance that the partner is holding a grudge that is, like,
I don't
a
think
little
that's
bit irrational.
fair for him. I don't think irrational, first of all, I don't agree with, but I think it's also not fair for him to, yeah.
But if it's, again, context matters. But I'm saying if this is, like, a high school or middle school thing and this person's holding a grudge and now they're, like, in their late 20s, and since then, like, this is her boyfriend's, like, one of his best friends or, like, a really good friend, you gotta, like grow up,
That's interesting. Most of the comments are actually saying that, like, yeah, she's under no obligation. And I kind of agree with that.
But I mean, maybe they're assuming like this is a more recent thing. But again, without the context,
they're in their early 20s. So I think the high school thing is a good guess.
You think the high school?
Because that's like kind of, I mean, I'm totally bullshitting, but I feel like that time frame would make sense with like early, like soon, more recent enough to like feel the sting,
also
but
saying
not like
part of a group.
Yeah.
It's like kind of.
I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think everyone has to be included, as long as you're not like preventing someone from connecting with someone. I think it's okay to like be like, hey, this doesn't make me comfortable if you're hosting.
But you can be, it's if you are driving a wedge between the friend, like your partner and this friend, if like they're not invited to this thing.
But why is it more important to him to have that friendship than to honor that like someone was rude to her?
It's not about it being more important. It's like about her also honoring this person's friendship. And again, if like enough time has passed that this is something you should get over, or they've changed significantly, because people change a lot between high school and like college.
I don't know. I guess there's more context would be helpful.
Yeah. And then saying she's part of a group, was she the one, like, was she just friends with the people bullying her?
Yeah.
Or like, was she the one actively bullying her?
Yeah, I don't really agree with you, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. If I had her on a witness stand, I'd be grilling her, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. It could be very much that like,
like you just want your cake and to eat it too. Like it's important to you to like look popular and have everyone there, but like, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. My ex-fiance, 34 male, broke up with me, 33 female, after 10 years.
Aww.
Man, 10 years and still just a fiance. That's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
And remarried in less than a year to a hot Latina girl. My world collapsed. Why her and not me?
Aww.
My nightmare began last year when we got engaged after being together 10 years. Again, kind of a red flag. We had the best time in South America. Oof. However, since August, he started to become distant. So he took her to the place where he wanted to pick out his next wife.
That seems to be what she's insinuating, but I don't know if that's true, but okay, continue.
He started to become distant. He did not want to get involved in our wedding preparations or throw our engagement party. Then he landed an amazing new job and had to go to Vancouver. When we returned, everything changed. I knew he was breaking up with me the moment I saw him.
Aww.
We had our ups and downs during our relationship. He was messy and struggled with anger issues, while he told me he was no longer attracted to me because I had gained weight.
Aww.
Geez, lots of going on here. I am Caribbean and he is white. I tend to gain weight, I know, but I tried everything and nothing worked. He broke up with me and I was devastated, but what came next year was even harder to bear. He had a new girlfriend just a month later, a woman in her late 20s, skinny with lighter skin than mine. Oh, okay,
Aww.
weird racialization stuff here. And what many men would consider hot. Personally, I don't think she is. I consider myself quite attractive. Okay, my friends often tell me that I am sexy, capable, and many other things.
I'm sure you are, girl.
Mm-hmm. However, in our final years together, he couldn't maintain an erection with me because there's a lot going on here.
I think we read enough. I think we got the idea.
Oh, this is the last sentence.
Okay.
This June, he married her. What I hoped for all these years, she achieved in just months. I'm still deeply hurt. I resent her for taking what was once mine. How can I cope with the pain?
Well, okay. I guess the last question is like a really legit one. How can I cope with the pain? You just got to invest in you, I think. You got to just like do all the things that you want to do to build yourself up, work on your friendships, your other relationships in your life, pursue your hobbies, like use all that free time that goes into being in a relationship and like use it intentionally, and enjoy it. I mean, yeah, it sucks that like, I don't know. I feel like I was going to say your time was wasted, but you also chose to stay. So I think at some point, like, having ownership for that, like,
how do you reconcile?
Like, why are you there for 10 years? Like, not to blame you, like, it sounds like you really loved him and you wanted to work out, but like,
especially when the person tells you they think you're unattractive.
Yeah, maybe doing a little bit of self-work with like, how can I try and really only be with people who like build me up and not people who like tear me down. Like you kind of dodge a bullet in a way. Someone who makes you feel bad about yourself, like,
yeah, that's lucky. Could you imagine if you like after 10 years you get married to this person?
Right.
And then
they tell you that you're like unattractive and it's your fault they can't maintain an erection. And now that's your
husband?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you feel like if she's telling the truth and she honestly like truly in her heart feels that she's attractive, that like is confident, that's great.
But sounds like the confidence might need some help.
But it also like that seems to contradict the idea that's just like I tried to lose weight for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's common, honestly. I think it's not, it's a kind of taboo to talk about, but I think it is normal to an extent to want to appear attractive to your partner and to have somewhat of an effect on like how you, you know, like present yourself. But it's certainly, you don't want someone who like tears you down. That also like that kind of like negative reinforcement never actually helps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want someone who like builds you up and helps you find ways that like whatever. But I know it's so easy, and like I've totally done this too, so I'm not at all blaming her, but it's so easy to like fixate on the person that they ended up with.
Latina to hook up with.
It's so easy to
What did you do?
What?
What do you mean? What you did this also?
No, it's easy to fixate on the person someone ended up with and be like, oh, it wasn't me, and like, why not me? But it's less about them and more that it wasn't you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did he get married after you? Because he found someone he clicked with, and it's not that part of the story of who he ended up with is not really part of your story, you know?
On some level, I feel like if they were together for 10 years and it was just like a process of this guy just like falling out of love with this woman and in fact coming to hate her, it seems like.
This might be a little strong, but
I mean, just saying this like, oh, I don't find you attractive anymore.
But did he say that, or did he say like you gained weight? Because like that's something that some men in relationships do say. I don't think they should, but
I think he said that. He told me he was no longer attracted to me.
Oh, okay, that's pretty rough. All right, continue.
Because I had gained weight. So both. He said, I'm not attracted to you, and it's because you are fat.
That is very shitty.
Yeah. And that this happened less than a year after they like broke up. Tells me that he probably always had like a foot out the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he took you to South America so he could look for a new wife.
That's a weird detail. Just because his like new girlfriend happens to be Latina didn't mean that he specifically went to South America, but okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I don't believe in coincidences.
that's strange logic, but
this man was shopping.
Yeah, she seems to think so. Yeah.
That sucks.
I'm sorry. That's a lot of your life. But
that is a long time.
You know what? Early 30s, there's still plenty of time to get out there. It's never too late to enjoy dating around and finding yourself and finding people who make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, 33. You know, you got another good year as a woman.
No, that's changing. Honestly, it really is.
I'm kidding.
I mean, it's still. I mean, I used to feel that way though, so I get the stress, but there's still like pressures with like if you want kids and when that's feasible, but you can really date at any age now, I think.
Yeah.
I think you might have to go younger. That's the thing.
Yeah, you got to get yourself a hot Latino male.
27-year-old, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the move.
27.
Yeah.
I would say go 24.
Nah, that's too young for a man.
That's too young?
Yeah, they're like children.
But you're just looking for a hookup, you know? You got to
even then, that's too young.
Find a lifeguard.
They don't know what they're doing.
What was your age range on the dating apps?
I'm trying to remember. How old was I when I was on them? 28? That's when we met?
27.
27, yeah.
Were you 27 or 28?
I think I was 27. I think we started dating on my 28th birthday.
Right.
Or like
around
shortly
then.
after, yeah. I think that it was like 24 to 30, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
24, huh?
Yeah, I never wanted to have someone that could be a student.
Mm-hmm.
And I was TAing at the time.
Right.
So yeah, a couple years younger. I think that's exactly what it was actually. I remember because it was like a few years younger. It might have been like 33.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. But I don't like going too much older either, honestly. I kind of like dating in my age range.
Yeah.
That might have changed if I had stayed single. I don't know. But at that point in my life, I just kind of felt like, especially when I was in my early 20s, I went on like 1 or 2 dates with people in their 30s. And I was always, it was not.
That's weird.
It didn't feel right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of felt like they didn't have their lives together. And I was like, I hope I'm not where you are when I'm 30. Like, that sounds mean, but.
I mean, they were probably just looking for a hookup with a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah. Or like just really looking to,
hook up with a 20-something-year-old.
No, I mean, yeah. But then also I feel like there's just like a control element too of like, yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true for all age gap relationships, obviously, but it just was never my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say probably true for all age gap relationships that start on a dating app.
I don't know if that's fair.
I'm gonna say that
Okay.
as fact.
Yeah. What was your range set to?
So I was 28.
Eight.
I had mine set from like I think 20. I would
Be
go
honest here.
No, I would go 23.
Okay.
But I mostly kept it at 24. But sometimes I would switch it to like, because if you feel like you exhausted everyone in like the swipe pool,
Right.
you could like get
A couple new
fresh
23-year-olds. Some fresh 23-year-olds.
to 36.
Yeah, that sounds like actually very similar to mine.
Yeah.
I think mine was actually a little bit less old, but yeah.
Yeah.
We have a year apart. Actually, like 11 months, right?
Yes.
Wait, or is it the opposite? Is it 13 months? I can't do math, but
It's
we're pretty
13.
close in age.
A year and a month.
A year and a month, yeah.
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 I
I like that we're the same age. I think it works for us.
Yep. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But at this point in our lives, I really do think like 3 years down or up is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, my parents are 7 years apart, and I think about that sometimes. I'm like, that's like not weird, but also,
Well, they're older now. So
if I was like in my 30s, I mean, I guess when I was 30, would I have dated a 23-year-old? I don't think so.
Same. But
But
then
things
like,
worked very differently back then.
yeah, but like, and also now that they're like in their 60s, it doesn't feel that strange. I think the more
yes,
time
but
goes
it has
on.
to, you know, they didn't meet and start dating in their 60s.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, my grandma was 16 and my grandpa was 32. That was fucked.
Sure, that's different. That's not the same thing.
No. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's. Do you want to do another one, or do you want to end it?
No, it's a good place to end.
Okay, bye.
Bye.